Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about Quillabamba, Peru. And I'm going to give you guys a travel guide for anybody who is interested in potentially traveling to or maybe even moving to Quillabamba. I'm going to give you all the information that you need to know. We're going to talk about why you should visit. We're going to talk about street scents. We're going to talk about living expenses. Then we're going to go over the location and weather information. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about proximity to other notable sites or noteworthy sites in the region. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right into this. I want to start off by giving you guys some information about why specifically you should visit. Okay, and so Quillabamba is one of those towns that's technically in the jungle, but technically, you could also argue that it's part of the Sacred Valley because it is pretty close to Machu Picchu. But specifically, I wanted to give you guys some information on why you should visit. So here's what the Plaza de Armas looks like. It's very green. Like I said, it's half jungle, half in the Sacred Valley. So very mixed climate in that regard, I guess you could say. Here's what the streets look like. Just like many of the other quote-unquote smaller towns in Peru, you will find a lot of the moto taxis. Okay, and so those moto taxis are actually really nice because it is a very cheap way to get cheap transportation around the city. Okay, and so what is cheap? Well, in Quillabamba, you could take one of these moto taxis. This isn't just Quillabamba. This would be just really anywhere in the Sacred Valley where you find these moto taxis. Well, you could get a ride across town for 2-3 sols. Two soles. Okay, so very cheap traveling expenses in the moto taxis in Quillabamba and just really in general in the Sacred Valley. Okay, so here's some more of the streets. This is actually another park. There's a lot of parks in Quillabamba, so you'll find some areas that are pretty modernized and the streets are looking nice and there's lots of shops. But there's also a lot of parks in Quillabamba. So that's one thing that's really nice about the area is you'll be able to walk to just about any part of town in Quillabamba and find a nice green park. Okay, so that's another one. Here's actually another park. Okay, and so I believe this one is pretty close to the Plaza de Armas. I don't remember the exact name on this, so I do apologize there. But as I was saying, lots of different parks. This one is part of the Plaza de Armas. This is part of the artwork that you can see on the Plaza de Armas. As you can see, a very mystic jungle feel to it. Here's the Plaza de Armas again, fountain. This is actually the center area of the town. So you'll find a lot of locals in this area and just people congregating. It's one of the things that people will do in Peru at a Plaza de Armas is just kind of hang out, enjoy the day, kick back, relax, live the calm life. La vida tranquilo, so it's very similar in Quillabamba. So people like congregating to the Plaza de Armas. Next to the Plaza de Armas in Quillabamba, you will find a very big market. Okay, so this you can find anything from shoes to your meal for the night to even clothes or really anything that you will need in Quillabamba or in the jungle region. You'll be able to find in the markets at the local Quillabamba market. Okay, so you'll also be able to find cheap meals in these markets. And when I say cheap meals, like 5 soles for a sopa and segundo, or a soup and entree, I guess would be the translation. So very cheap meal options located right at the center of the town. Okay, so here's some more pictures. The Andes Mountains, you get a nice view of them in Quillabamba. As I was saying, that's kind of why it's a mixture of the jungle and the Sacred Valley, because on one hand you're next to the Andes, but on the other hand your elevation's pretty low and you're kind of in the jungle. So that's what I was talking about there. And here's actually my room that I rented out in Quillabamba. I'm going to talk more about that when I get to living expenses, but just so you know off the top of my head, this cost me $6 for one night. So that gives you an idea of what you can get for a hotel price in Quillabamba. Okay, and so here's some more of the streets. Very nice town, very beautiful town. Here's another park in Quillabamba. As I was saying, there's a lot of different parks in Quillabamba. There's something that you will not find a shortage of. Okay, so scrolling through these pictures here, just giving you guys a reason to go. As I was saying, very beautiful town, very stunning. You'll definitely enjoy the trip. Little random story before we jump into street sets. This is actually what I was checking out of my hotel. For whatever reason, there was something going on this street, and the police actually closed down the street, and I actually had to check out of my hotel late just because of this whatever was going on here. So just a little random story. So now let's talk about street scents in Quillabamba. Okay, so two things that you guys need to know about Quillabamba that really stuck out to me when I was there, and it's one, it's a really big native culture. You're not going to find many expats. In fact, you'd be lucky to find any expats in Quillabamba. Okay, so I didn't run into anybody who knew English in Quillabamba, and so it was one of the places where it was kind of sink or swim with my Spanish. I'm learning still. And it was one of the places where I was challenged. Okay, so if you want to be around locals, Quillabamba is an excellent place to be around locals and practice your Spanish, learn the culture of the region. Okay, secondly, for those of you who have been to Peru, well, you would be able to tell me about the coca economy. Well, this is actually one of the cities where the coca economy thrives, and because specifically this is one of the cities where it is grown, and a lot of the coca leaves are processed and shipped to places like Cusco and Lima. Okay, and so if you want to try out a mate de coca or coca tea, this would be an excellent place to do that, because as I was saying, this is where a lot of it comes from, and it'll be very cheap here. Okay, so if you're living in America and you don't even know what a mate de coca is, just try it. It's just like a cup of coffee, literally, and so not very powerful, I guess is what I'm trying to say with the mate de cocas. A lot of people will think, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get addicted. Well, you'll probably just try it once, and you'll be like, okay, I don't really need to do this ever again, because like I was saying, it's just a coffee. Okay, so that's the street sense. Lots of natives, and it's a big coca economy. Now let's talk about the living expenses. Just to give you an idea of what you can get for budget living expenses, this is actually a hotel, not a hostel. Okay, and so I had a room. I didn't actually get my own bathroom, but there were so many different showers and bathrooms nearby that I basically did have my own private bathroom. As I was saying earlier, this cost me $6 a night. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what you can get in Quillabamba for $6 a night. Okay, next, food and water. As I was saying about the market, you can go in there and get 5 sole meals, soup and an entree. Believe me, with a soup and an entree, it will fill you up, and it's only $1.25. And you'll be feeling full for the day. So that's something to keep in mind. If you are hungry, you can always just go to the Plaza de Armas, go to the market, and get a 5 sole meal. Unless you want to make your food, then yes, of course, you can buy rice, eggs, noodles, whatever it is that you want to buy. You'll be able to buy it in the market, okay? And now let's go ahead and talk about location and weather, okay? So first things first, Quillabamba, it's 214 kilometers away from Cusco, or for those of you who use miles, about 132 miles northwest of Cusco. Okay, and so you'll be able to go there by taking a colectivo. Okay, and so you probably, if you wanted to take a colectivo, you probably want to go to first Urubamba and take the colectivo from Urubamba to Santa Teresa, which is roughly around here. And then just go from Santa Teresa to Quillabamba, roughly in total about $20-30 traveling from Cusco to Quillabamba just for the colectivo tickets. And so $20-30, that's actually probably a high estimate, and you might be able to get it for lower than that. Okay, so I was actually there 3 months ago, and so I believe I paid 60 soles in total for the round trip. And so $20-30, as I was saying, for traveling just to Quillabamba. Okay, and so now let's talk a little bit more about the weather. Okay, and so typically, when I was there, it was just a sunny day. Typically, when you're in the Amazon jungle, it's a very hot and humid experience. And the same could be said about Quillabamba. So 21 degrees Celsius average on a day. Of course, that's about 68 degrees Fahrenheit, or 69, or even as high as 71. But you have to keep in mind that this is a very humid region as well. And so it feels like that, but it's also a little bit hotter just because it is the jungle and it's very humid and all that. Okay, so here's what it looks like on the nice green Google Earth. Okay, and so very close to Machu Picchu. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about proximity to other sites. Well, here's Quillabamba, here's Machu Picchu. Okay, it's not very close to Machu Picchu. I know it looks like it is from here, but you would probably not even want to walk from Quillabamba to Aguas Calientes, unless that's how you were wanting to do it. If you're initially one of those people wanting to walk from Ollantaytambo to Aguas Calientes, for example, it's about the same distance. Okay, so not very close to Machu Picchu, and not close at all to any Inca sites. Okay, so if you are one of the people wanting to go to Peru to see the historical sites, well, Quillabamba is probably not the place that you would want to go, but it is a nice place to visit and to explore. Okay, and so that's all I have for you guys about Quillabamba. And so, long story short, it's an excellent place to stay. Maybe even an excellent place to live, assuming that you are very good with your Spanish. Okay, but that's all I have for you guys. That's Quillabamba, wonderful place. Make sure to check it out. Click subscribe, please. I will be covering all the cities that I've been to in Peru and just keeping you up to date on my travels in general. Okay, so, but that's all I have for you guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Peace.